Welcome back everyone. Today we are going to start chapter 7 Human Environment, Settlement, Transport and Communication. In chapter 1, you have learned that early human beings depended entirely on nature for food, clothing, shelter, but with time they learned new skills to grow food, build homes and develop better means for transport and communication. In this way they modified the environment where they lived. Settlements. Settlements are places where people build their homes. Early human beings lived on trees and in caves. When they started to grow crops, it became necessary to have a permanent residence or permanent home. So it is clear that when they started to grow crops, they had to have a permanent home. The settlements grew near the river valley as water was available and land was fertile. With the development of trade, commerce and manufacturing, human settlements became larger, settlements flourished and civilization developed near river valleys. Do you recall the name of civilization that grew along the banks of river Indus, Tigris, Nile and Huanghe? So here is a do you know section. Do you know? The place where a building or settlement develops is called a site. The natural condition for selection of an ideal site are favorable climate, availability of water, suitable land and fertile soil. So settlements can be permanent or temporary. Settlements which are occupied for a short time are called temporary settlement, and people living in deep forest, hot and cold deserts and mountains often dwell in such temporary settlements. So people who lives in the deep forest, hot cold deserts and mountains dwell in temporary residences. They practice hunting, gathering, shifting, cultivation and transhumance. However, more and more settlements today are permanent settlements. So today, in today's world, more and more settlements are permanent settlements. In these settlements, people build homes to live in. So people build homes to live. So you can see a human settlement in 7.1 figure. Very beautiful view. It was Mary's birthday party. She and her friend were waiting for Gurpreet to arrive so that Mary can cut the cake. At last Gurpreet arrived, tired, coughing and wheezing. She explained that the traffic jam was terrible. Mary's mother noticed Miss Thomas patted Gurpreet's back and sang, "Oof! The pollution in our city." Prasad had recently come from his village. He asked, "Why do we have such traffic jams and such pollution in the cities?" "The number of vehicles is increasing day by day due to the growing population in the cities," Mary's father, Mr. Thomas, replied. Mary asked, "Then why are people coming to the cities?" Her mother replied, "They come looking for jobs, better education and medical facilities." Mary further inquired, "If so many people keep coming to cities, where will all the people live?" Mr. Thomas said, "That is why you see so many slums and squatter settlements where people stay in congested and unhygienic conditions. Shortage of power and water supply are common problems in the cities." Prasad said, "Our village may not have big cinema halls, well-equipped schools and good hospitals, but we have lot of open spaces and fresh air to breathe. When my grandfather was sick, we had to rush him to the city hospital." So there is a glossary about transhumance. It is a seasonal movement of people. People who rear animals move in search of new pastures according to the changes in seasons. So it is clear from the above conversation we can identify two different pictures of settlements. The villages are rural settlements, the village where people are engaged in activities like agriculture, fishing, forestry, craft works and trading, etc. Rural settlements can be compact or scattered. A compact settlement is a closely built area of dwellings wherever flat land is available. So you can see that in figure 7.2 is a compact settlement. In a scattered settlement, dwellings are spaced over an extensive area. This type of settlement is mostly found in hilly tracts, thick forests and regions of extreme climate. So you can see here it is a scattered settlement in 7.3. In rural areas, people build houses to suit their environment. In regions of heavy rainfall, they have slanting roofs. Places where water accumulates in the rainy season, the houses are constructed on a raised platform or slits. You can see it in figure 7.4. Thick mud-walled house with thatched roofs are very common in areas of hot climate. Local material like stones, mud, clay, straw, etc. are used to construct houses. So you might have seen this kind of houses. The towns are small and the cities are larger urban settlements. In urban areas, the people are engaged in manufacturing, trading and services. Name some of the villages, towns and cities in your state. Transport. Transport is the means by which people and goods move. In the early days, it took a great deal of time to travel long distances. People had to walk and use animals to carry their goods. Invention of the wheels made transport easier. With the passage of time, different means of transport developed. But even today, people use animals for transport, as in figure 7.5, you can see a horse cart as a mode of transportation. So here is a picture. Where do you find dwellings made of ice? Who makes them and what are they called? So you might have heard about igloos. So they are indicating that. In our country, donkeys, mules, bullocks and camels are common. In the Andes Mountains of South America, llama are used as are yaks in Tibet. The early traders from other countries used to take several months to reach India. They took either the sea route or the land route. Aeroplanes have made travel faster. Now it takes only 6 to 8 hours to travel from India to Europe. Modern means of transport thus saves time and energy. So modern means of transport is very fast and people can go from country to country and even continent to continent in a day or less than a day. In four major means of transport are roadways, railways, waterways and airways. So here's a do you know section. There are several national and state highways in India. The latest development in India is the construction of expressways. The Golden Quadrilateral connects Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai and Kolkata. So here is a section about roadways. The most commonly used means of transport, especially for short distances, are roads. They can be metalled, pakka and unmetalled, kacha. Figure is in 7.6 and 7.7. The plains have a dense network of roads. Roads have also been built in terrains like deserts, forests and even high mountains. Manali Leh Highway is the Himalayan mountain is one of the highest roadways in the world. Roads built underground are usually subways, underpaths. Flyovers are built over raised structure. So you have seen flyovers. You can see a metal road and an unmetalled kacha road. So it's a do you know section. The train from Zining to Lhasa runs at an altitude of 4,000 meter above sea level and the highest point is 5,072 meter. So you can see the picture here. So here is the railway section. The railways carry heavy goods and people over long distances quickly and cheaply. The intervention of the steam engine and the industrial revolution helped in speedy development of rail transport. Diesel and electric engines have largely replaced the steam engines. So steam engine is replaced by diesel and electric engine. In places, super fast trains have been introduced to make the journey faster. The railway network is well developed over the plains areas. Advanced technological skills have enabled laying of railway line in difficult mountain terrain also, but these are much fewer in number. Indian railway network is well developed. It is the largest in Asia. So Indian railway is the largest in Asia and it is well developed. So you can see a do you know section where it is stated the Trans-Siberian Railway is the longest railway system connecting St. Petersburg in western Russia to Vladivostok on the Pacific coast. So you can see the longest railway system is here. It is from St. Petersburg to Vladivostok. So it is the largest railway system. Here is the waterway section. You have already learned that since early days, waterways were used for transportation. Waterways are the cheapest for carrying heavy and bulky goods over long distances. They are mainly of two types, inland waterways and sea routes. Navigable rivers and lakes are used as inland waterways. Some of the important inland waterways are the Ganga Brahmaputra river system, the Great Lakes in North America, and the River Nile in Africa. So the most important inland waterways are Ganga Brahmaputra river system, Great Lakes of North America, and the River Nile of Africa. Sea routes and oceanic routes are mostly used for transporting merchandise and goods from one country to another. These routes are connected with the ports. Some of the important ports of the world are Singapore and Mumbai in Asia, New York, Los Angeles in North America, Rio de Janeiro in South America, Durban and Cape Town in Africa, Sydney in Australia, London and Rotterdam in Europe, as you can see in figure 7.11. Can you name some more ports of the world? So here is the airways. This is the fastest way of transport developed in the early 20th century. So the fastest way of transport is developed in 20th century. It is also the most expensive due to high cost of fuels. So because of the higher cost of fuel, it is expensive to fly in airways. Air traffic is adversely affected by bad weather due to fog and storms. It is the only mode of transport to reach the most remote and distant areas, especially where there is no road and railways. Helicopters are extremely useful in most inaccessible areas and in time of calamities for rescuing people and distributing food, water, clothes and medicine, as you can see in figure 7.9. So during the period of calamity, helicopters are most useful. So you might have seen in the news when there is flood or some disaster like that, a helicopter is used to provide food, water, clothes and medicine to the general people. Some of the important airports are Delhi, Mumbai, New York, London, Paris, Frankfurt and Cairo, as you can see in figure 7.11. So here is a Let's Do section. Find out the name of some newspaper and TV news channels in English, Hindi and regional languages. Communication is the process of conveying message to other. With the development of technology, humans have devised a new and fast modes of communication. The figure 7.10 explains the evolution of the communication system. The advancement in the field of communication has brought about an information revolution in the world. Different modes of communication are used to provide information, to educate as well as to entertain. So the communication used for information gathering, to educate and to entertain also. Through newspapers, radio and television, we can communicate with the large number of people. They are therefore called mass media. The satellites have made communication even faster. Satellites have helped in oil exploration, survey of forests, underground water, mineral wealth, weather forecast and disaster warning. Now we can send electronic mails or emails through internet. Wireless telephones, communications through cellular phones have become very popular today. Internet not only provide us with worldwide information and interaction but has also made our lives more comfortable. Now we can reserve tickets for airways, railways and even cinemas and hotels sitting at home with this kind. So you can see the more progress in the means of communication. You can see people are using post and other things and newspaper, and now there are different gadgets, internet and other things and satellites. So the communication has become more and more faster. So here is a figure which shows world's major seaport and airports. So you can see here the connecting line with red is indicating the airways system, and the dotted line represent the ports, and the thicker dot, these are the ports and cities. So it's a major port, I think. Let's see. It's indicating the major sea and airports, seaport and airports. So you can see here there are different. So you can see in the part of India there are ports in Chennai and Mumbai, Kolkata, and there is an airport in New Delhi. So from New Delhi this is connecting to Tokyo and Moscow. So you can see it is connecting. These are the airways and the dotted is the seaports. So here the chapter is finished, and we'll start the next chapter in the next class. Thank you.